This program is brought to you by Emory University.
My name is Adam Richman. Perhaps you recognize me from basic cable on a channel carefully nestled between weather and juicer commercials. Now, most people know that I have laid waste to a 72-ounce steak, 3 fried shrimp, a salad, and a baked potato in 29 and a half minutes. A few other people know that I have worked every job in the restaurant industry since I was 13 years old. A few more know that I host some of the coolest damn TV shows around. But today I feel I am in the company of people who would appreciate some lesser known facts about me. Before Yale Drama, I went to school in Atlanta. My freshman hall was named Dobbs. I studied for my finals in libraries named Candler and Woodruff. I threw varsity shot and discus on the field behind the Woodpeck Rec. Once of age, I drank at Maggie's in Toco Hills. I love scotch. Scotchy scotch, scotch. Down in my belly. And of course, Dooley is my homeboy. I am an Emory Eagle. Damn right. And I'm very proud of that fact. And contrary to what you may think, I did not major in giant burrito technology, habanero studies, milkshake biomechanics, no. I was an international studies major. I studied French, I studied Japanese, I studied film, theater studies, and masterpieces of symphonic literature with Professor Charles Schisler, which to this date is the only class I have ever aced. So thank you, Charles Schisler, for giving me something to brag about for the few times I was on J-Day. Sweet. This is Emory. A lot of y'all will end up there. I didn't experiment. I'm going off script myself here. I didn't experiment. One time I just went into Cox Hall, and I'm old. So I was here when it was first built, and we were like, Lara, Tara, Farah, Shara, Mara, Dara. You know, and just wanted to see how many. Seth, Ethan, Aaron, David, Adam, Michael. Finding a minion at this school is not hard. Jews, explain it to the non-Jews. So from all this crazy background, here I am doing what I do, perhaps the craziest, coolest job on planet Earth. And the question is, how did I go from sitting where you are, well, no, we didn't have class day, but, you know, relatively speaking, you know. I didn't have the really cool ties. I went for all black today, like my soul. I kid, I'm just a clown. So how did I go from a senior at Emory to doing what I do now? So sure, I can point to the restaurant experience that I had and got when I was in high school, and I got when I was here working at Alumnus Bakery in the Highlands, working at, yeah, he worked there? I didn't know he worked here. I get sandwiches there all the time. I didn't know he worked there. Skeeter's Steakhouse, and then now it's no longer there. It was in Toco Hills. I lived in Caliber Woods, so it was walking distance. Yay, Toco Hills. The only person to ever say that. I love it. I love Kroger. Is the Outback still there? All right, I employed a bunch of my fraternity brothers, so thank you for the free bread. And sure, I can point to the acting that I did here at Theater Emory at the 14th Street Playhouse, Theater in the Square in Marietta, or I was told to say Mayretta. But the truth is, it's all of it. It really is all of it. It's the 2 years that I spent pre-med. Yes, I know it's shocking, a pre-med person at Emory. I'm a Jew from the Northeast. It was a foregone conclusion. You're going that way. But now I'm just trying to do my little part to help Jews get a foothold in Hollywood. Just a foot in the door, it's all I'm trying. Just, can a brother get a matzo ball? And, but it's everything. It's the summer internships doing corporate jobs that I hated, but I learned from. The drives I would take in the weekends all around Atlanta to areas outside of Atlanta, to Macon, Ellijay, to South Carolina, North Carolina, and all over the entire deeply, deeply beautiful southern United States. It was about learning about the country from roommates from all over, hallmates from all over the country, all over from different parts of the world. It's been the French I studied, the Japanese I studied, the Hebrew, the theater, and as much as other Emory experiences, my breakups, my crack-ups, my wrong turns and being in the right place at the right time. The food journal that really became the basis of Man vs. Food, and for my auditions, for quite frankly my career, began here at Emory in 1995. I've said this in interviews, but the truth of the matter is this. A girl named Stephanie from Terman North broke my heart. Literally reached into my chest, was like, "You won't be needing this." Ah! Not bitter. I'm not bitter. And, woosah. And when the bookstore was back in the Duck, yes, that happened. When the bookstore was back in the Duck, I bought one of those blank Moleskine textbooks to just write like kind of, well, we could, pardon me, deans and distinguished people, but kind of douchey college breakup poetry. And, you know, my eye bleeds nails of glass into my heart. Like writing lyrics for AFI or something, and I, minus the eyeliner. And there was a great place on Virginia, just off of Briarcliff. It no longer exists, unfortunately, called Virginia's. And I went there and I started this journal, and I was really writing about what I was feeling, but writing about the restaurant and the food. And I was still writing about my life, but using food as the point of departure. And I realized that it was this deeply, deeply connective event for me, that I could attach food and food milestones, especially being Jewy McJewpants in Atlanta, that these experiences were so different from everything I had known. Even getting, yes, fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, that the ultimate thing was I was learning and I was expanding my horizons. And I owe that all to my time here at Emory. Now, did I ever think that that journal I was writing would become the beginnings of my career? Never. Did I think this little journal would become a defining aspect of my career? Not at all. Did I start my film or food or whatever I have right now career? Not at all. And that's kind of the point. You see, thousands upon thousands of doctors and lawyers and businessmen have graduated from Emory. That's true. But do you know how many of them were doctors or lawyers or businessmen right when they graduated? Zero. Not a one. And I had no clue what I wanted to do when I came out. None. I even tried to stay an extra year. And I'm sure there's a couple of you out here that resemble that remark. Financial aid gave me the Heisman, and I was on my own, out of the nest. Thought about chaining myself to Means Hall for a little while. Not a smart idea. My friends were going to med school, to law school, B school, school to teach school. And me, I went off to travel in Ireland. I was working for the Olympics when they were here in '96. I lived on an Indian reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina. I was lost. I was. Or so I thought. And that indecision, it forced me to explore and to grow. And I knew that coming out of Emory, I was smart enough to just get a job anytime I wanted. But I wanted to find something that moved me, that spoke to my passions, that spoke to my abilities, whether my abilities were speaking French or eating ghost chilies. Now, yes, speaking French opened doors. And yes, the after effects of eating ghost chili is like sliding backwards down a banister made of barbed wire. But TMI, the important thing is that I learned from both. And this is a long life. And I say this as someone who graduated in a time where the interweb was brand new. And as someone who turns 38 in 6 days. And I know, crazy, right? He looks so good for 37. Oil of Olay. But what you do now does as much to what you do now and what you've done here at school, It doesn't define you as much as it shapes you. And the connections that you make here, I'm proud to say, truly do last a lifetime. My mom just got out of the hospital. She was in the hospital from late March through mid-April. And while in the hospital, I bumped into a fraternity brother I hadn't seen in ages. I was an API here at Emory. And thank you. And so after the bro hugs and the catching up and the dude, buddy, bro, dude, buddy, he told me, he pulled me aside and in earnest, he pledged to look out for my mom and check in on her religiously, which he did. And I thanked him about a week in, and I said, I really do appreciate it, but you needn't do so much. And he said, you don't get it. He said, we share this bond that we built back at Emory. And while she's here, she's my mother too. And he meant it. It wasn't lip service, and it wasn't some sappy thing. There were no cameras rolling. This was someone who I had eaten with at Jaggers. This is someone I'd eaten with at the Duck and run track at McDonough Field and gone and duly let us out of our international studies class, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. I hadn't studied that day, so thank you, Dooley. And that's really kind of it. It's those intangible moments that we pick up along the way that ultimately drive us, and that's what drove me. So right now, if you're unsure of your future, that's cool. And if you want to explore, that's cool too. If the passions that drive you are many, it's okay to take your time and figure out what you want to dedicate your life to. I was my freshman class representative on college council, and David Bright was the dean at that point. And he was saying that a lot of people go to college and they think it's major, work in your major, leave, get a job, work till you die. And clearly this wasn't the path I wanted to do. And I wanted to find, and I urge all of you, to find out the passions and the things that move you and to take that time. And when you figure it out, hold on to it for dear life, tenaciously. And tell the haters and the naysayers just to suck it. And the road's not easy, I promise you this, but the rewards more than justify any obstacle along the way. And I see that he's snuck in there, and I'll try not to get choked up. But Tim McDonough, he's in the back, and he's a member of the acting faculty here, and he's my mentor, and very much a father figure. I lost my dad in '98, and Tim very much was there for me in the wake of that. And he opened up dimensions within me that I didn't know existed. And when I came here pre-med, that was a dream that other people had for me. And it took my time here at Emory for me to figure out what my dream was. And now, 16 years, Lord have mercy, 16 years after I left these hallowed, deeply geometric IKEA-like halls, I live that dream, and I continue to. And someone that's close to my family, I don't want to throw him under the bus in case anyone's taping this, but someone that's real close to my family used to always get in my mom's ear when I was on my grind and trying to make my bones as an actor and on unemployment and doing whatever I could. And I was actually Seth Rogen's size model when he would do Condé Nast things. So they would try the clothes on me, take Polaroid, send it to his publicist and go, yeah, no, not that one, because they didn't want to see it on hangers. Random annoying fact that will get you nowhere in life. But this guy used to always say, an actor? You're gonna let him be an actor? It's like a pipe dream. He's like, I act as an avocation. I'm playing the tailor and fiddler on the roof at my Jewish center. I'm a radiologist, but I still act. And I was like, no, I want to do the real thing. I don't want to play the tailor in front of Bubby, Jenny, and the Mahjong ladies, you know? And this same person, right after Man vs. Food had become the highest rated show in Travel Channel's history, said, hey, maybe we could do a lunch with you for my wife's, group for her auction and stuff. And I thought about that hard road I'd walked, and I thought about the experiences that led me there, and I thought about this person and how they had been naysayers of my dream. And I thought about the man that Emory and my parents had led me to be. And I looked him in the eye, and I said, let's do it on the 32nd of Nevertember, and we'll have air cakes and wind pies, bitch. I said, bitch, a class day. Sorry. The truth of the matter is, I'm grateful for every moment I had here. Every moment. The shows I did, the shows I didn't get, the girls I did, the girls I didn't get, the grades I got and the grades I didn't get. You guys are in a really special place, and I envy you because whether or not you know what the next step is or not, you guys are poised at the precipice of an amazing adventure. From the bottom of my heart, as someone who gets to live his dream every day, and I deliberately am cutting it relatively short because I relish this opportunity, and I'm going to open it up for a little bit of a Q&A. I told these guys that I'd like to do that. So before I do that, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, as a fellow Emeroid, and don't let anybody other than someone who went here call you that, as an Eagle, as an Emory, as class of 96, as a Dobbs and Means resident, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all lives full of joy and fulfillment, of promise and adventure. I wish for you the success you want for yourselves. And from the bottom of my heart, I tell you, you couldn't have picked a better place to start from. Thank you all so much for having me today.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.